Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the In the Shed podcast. I'm Judson Miller.
I'm Curtis Burbage.
And today we have our first guest. We have the beast, the one and only, my younger brother. Can't say little brother because he's much taller than me. Preston Miller. Welcome to the show, Preston.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. So we obviously had our little segment about the embarrassing stories, and I lied to everybody and said I didn't have any, and then I came up with two right off the bat. So Curtis had his, and Preston was like, I should come on and tell mine. And I was like, you really should. But Preston was a little shy to come on. He didn't know if he wanted the world to hear this story yet. And I said, Preston, we got like 12 subscribers. It'll be fine. So, Preston, without further ado, I'd like for you to go ahead and tell your embarrassing story. Set it up for us. Get it real good, and let's make it extra juicy.
All right, so like 8th grade. This is back before I got tall. I was like only like 5'5", about average in my class.
Right.
And we're coming back in from PE one day. Get changed back into regular school clothes and went to a Christian high school, by the way, Christian school. We took over the building from an older public school in 2003. And me and one of my friends were walking back into the locker room to go get changed. And he's like, oh, look, I can touch the ceiling. I was like, oh, me too. But I was fat and short, so I really couldn't. So I stood up on the top of the bench. I was like, oh, yeah, I can touch the ceiling. I touched the ceiling. One of the ceiling tiles fell out and hit me in the head. Something else hit me. And I was like, oh, God, what was that? And I'm laughing, trying to fix the ceiling tile. And everybody in the locker room is just losing it. Just like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe you had that up there. Oh, my gosh. I turn around in time for the second one to hit me.
What hit you?
There were two 14-inch dildos.
Oh, my God. Wow.
And
Preston, why'd you have dildos in the ceiling?
that's a good question.
Oh, man.
So I'm sitting there just oh my gosh, this guy hit in the face with a 12-inch black dong.
I mean, it's everybody's dream, right?
You haven't lived until you've been hit with one of those, I guess.
Oh, my gosh, that's funny.
Well, so there's uproar for like 20 minutes in the locker room.
Yeah, I can imagine.
One of the teachers comes down there because, he's thinking fight.
Right.
And everybody's crying from laughing so hard at my expense.
Oh,
And
of course.
And he's like, everybody just get out of here. Just get out. And before we went out to the next class, he had a little meeting. He's like, everybody just understand that everybody just can forget that there was an imaginary male part down there.
Oh, my gosh.
And everybody's like, imaginary? We saw it. It's
Yeah.
not fake.
Preston's like, imaginary hell when it hits me in my face.
Hit me right in the head. So, what happened to him?
He tried to scoop him up with the trash can lid.
Oh, my gosh.
Insensitive bastard.
Right. Couldn't even give him the dignity of picking him up.
Lob in a glove or something.
Wow. Well, Curtis, have you ever encountered any fake wieners?
I mean, not. I mean, I'm 43 and not yet. I mean, at least none I didn't see coming. I guess that could be taken different.
Yeah, I didn't even know they could do that.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a story to go along with this, surprisingly. So when I was selling cars at a dealership in Tuscaloosa, we all cut up way too much. Like I said, I miss the guys that I worked with. Well, one of the guys was a manager, and he, we had an interesting relationship because obviously he's super managerial, I guess would be the word. And so we had been cutting up back and forth. Well, I went on a hunting trip and left my computer logged in on my eBay. So he gets on there. Well, this is speculation. Nobody has said they've done it yet or not, but I know I didn't buy it. So
I think I know what it is.
yeah, so this is just speculation. So I get back from my hunting trip, and he's asking me all about it. I'm like, this is weird. Why does he want to know so much about this trip? So anyway, I get home that day and there's a package on my doorstep. So I grab the package and I can feel it. It's kind of squishy. And I was like, what is this? So I open it up and there is a gigantic fake wiener with a suction cup end right there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, why? Like, who sent me this? So I get on my eBay and I notice that someone has bought it, and I knew instantly. I was like, yep, this is him. So anyway, I was like, I got to get him back somehow. So I brought it to work and I was like, hey, this has got to be your doing. He's like, no. Well, anyway, one of my other managers, who I was good friends with and still am good friends with, we're actually going to talk about him in a little bit. We were cutting up one day and he was like just laughing about it. And I was like, it'd be funny if I went out and stuck this on his windshield.
Oh,
So I walked out in the parking lot and stuck it right in the middle of his windshield like a giant unicorn horn. And I came back in and I'm like laughing like, ha, go look at your windshield. Well, during those 45 seconds of me walking back in, a customer rolls up.
Oh, God.
And is out there taking pictures, like screaming, making all these huge hand gestures, like throwing their hands up and everything. And so we're mortified because he went right out there to get it. And when he walks outside, he sees those customers. So just so happens those customers are best friends with the other manager that I think bought this. And he was giving me just enough rope to hang myself with. He knew it. And because he'd already given me some fireworks.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would he just randomly give me fireworks? And I was like, this feels like a trap. So anyway, he was less than happy. And I think he really thought that was going to be it. And he went to the general manager and was like,
God.
we got to fire this guy. And I don't know what happened. I don't know how I didn't get fired, but he was... I definitely got written up. So I had to sign a write-up sheet explaining what happened and what I did. And, so that story still lives on. I mean, I've been gone from there for 4 years.
Did the write-up say suction cup dildo?
I don't remember what it said.
I would have saved that.
It definitely said...
That's like scrapbook material.
Right. It definitely said something about inappropriate behavior.
If I had a nickel for every time I've gotten written up over that.
I know, right? Yeah, so I actually wound up taking that and sticking it on the back of my car when I was doing Uber. And so people would get in and be like, do you know you've got a huge dildo on the back of your car? And I was like, what? Is that where it is? I've been looking for that thing. But yeah,
dude.
there's a lot of stuff you can do with a fake wiener that doesn't necessarily involve...
You have a TikTok you showed me one time, or you sent me one time, I think, it had it on a Jack Daniels bottle.
Yeah. So I stuck it on there. And somebody was asking me about the whiskey collection that I've got, and I was like, yeah, I'll shoot you a picture. And just wasn't even thinking, just took a picture of it and sent it over, and I might have been a little inebriated at the time. And I had left that stuck on a Jack Daniels bottle. I mean, what other bottle would you put it on? But yeah, the reason it got there, a friend of mine was doing a TikTok, and he wanted all his friends to send him pictures of them holding something. And I was like, well, this will be funny. So I stuck it on there and I held it up. And the TikTok, of course, was anything can be a dildo if you're brave enough. And I was like, oh, he got me. It was a dildo. How about that? So
some of the other great places that you've put it was inside the washer machine lid.
yeah.
So that whenever somebody would open it up, there'd be just, floppy flop right in the face.
A giant dildo just flop right out.
I need to borrow that.
I mean, like I said, there's so many uses for it. And no matter who you are, if you open something up and there's a giant fake wiener staring at you, it's going to surprise you.
Yeah. I mean, if it don't, then that shows you right there, man, what you're dealing with.
Yeah, you know who you're working with
then.
then.
Issues.
Sadly, after living here for so long, it doesn't bother me
Doesn't
anymore.
bother you?
After a 14-inch one,
freezer?
like falls on your face.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about it. You're a veteran.
Yeah, Preston's definitely a pro. So Presto, what's some stuff you want to talk about, man? You got anything you want to contribute?
Oh gosh.
How do you feel about the nickname Preston 3000?
It's not the worst one I've ever had.
That's true. That's very true.
What do you think about the new nickname I gave your brother on our group chat? The tank taser.
Oh,
tank
yeah,
taser.
that's definitely fitting.
Oh man, what's your favorite scout story? Because Preston came on as one of my assistant scoutmasters after I took over the troop, and we definitely had a lot of fun.
Oh, that's one that I can't think of right now. One that didn't happen to me, but was probably one of the funniest things that ever happened, was when one of the scouts, we were at Tenny Hill State Park, and we were having a fight with apples and stuff, and one of the scouts decided to throw the apple and try to hit one of the leaders. Well, missed the leader he was aiming for and hit the other leader right in the dick.
Oh, no. I don't remember that. I may not have even been around.
I think you were naked wrestling in the tent.
Jesus.
Wait. Are we talking? Is this when I was a scoutmaster?
No.
Oh, this is
You
when we
were
were in. Okay.
Yeah.
This is before you
Okay.
it's probably what you had to do. One of like the things to do to get there.
Right. Yeah, I was like, hold on a
Like
second.
Indiana Jones,
I'm
man.
going to go ahead and clear the air here. That never happened when I was a scoutmaster.
Yeah, Scoutmaster. Yeah. That's the initiation.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. Being in scouts was a constant stream of like, are we really about to go throw stuff at each other? And because our leaders were constantly telling us, don't throw things, don't pick up rocks. And we were just bad kids. I mean, we were always getting into trouble, I feel like.
Well, I mean, you see a sticker that says "Don't touch." What's the first thing you want to do?
I want to touch it.
Yeah.
Well,
If that's the case, I
After-
need to put one of those on my pants.
I mean, that's an instantaneous way to get me interested.
must touch. So after the scout hit the leader, he went to go apologize, and so he's sitting there apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I was aiming for the other leader.
That made it better.
Right, of course.
Oh man, yeah. I was in Boy Scouts for, God, I don't know, a couple months. I joined because a buddy was in it, and they sent us away to like that little summer camp thing.
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of it was, but somewhere on the coastal area around here, like James Island, Johns Island. I don't know. It was a little ways away, and I treated it like college. Like I went there and I screwed off pretty much the whole time, and got like a leather making badge, I think it was.
Yeah.
And when we went to the thing, when we got back, my mom was all pissed off at me when we walked out of there because everybody walked out with like 6, 7 badges.
Oh, yeah.
And I walked out with a leather making badge. She said, "What'd you do the whole damn week?" And I'm like, "Well, I swim, shot 22s," which I got kicked off of that. The guy yeah, he was pissed off at me to do. He ran to shooting ranges. I kept shooting the clothespins off and never hit the target. So yeah, he was like that dude off of Full Metal Jacket too. He was like hardcore on me. He was like yelling at me and shit. But anyway.
Yeah, they get mad about the clothespins. Those things are they're a high ticket item.
I guess so, because he got like that shit was like coming. That came from his house or something. He was like, you shooting on my damn clothespins. I'm like, hey, I'm sharp shooting, man. He was like, hit the damn target for once. I was hitting the mound behind it and everything. I never hit that target though.
I mean,
Yeah.
your target's wherever you're shooting at, right?
Exactly. Whatever you're aiming for.
Also, what was it that you made for your leatherworking?
Oh, I just found that the other day. It was a bracelet.
A bracelet.
Yeah, it says Kurt.
It wasn't a whip.
No, I didn't get that advanced back then. I was, whips. Those are hard to make, man. Like one that's really going to just get your point across. And then like I said, my damn kids found the whip. And we told them it was for Dustin.
Dusting.
Yeah, because it's got like 6 strands, 7 strands to it.
Cat of nine tails.
Yeah, we just say it's for Dustin shit. Like ceiling fan knocking stuff down.
Hey, speaking of, after our last episode dropped, your wife wanted to contact me and clear the air about some things. She said that she thinks that things are a little one-sided. How do you feel about that before I get into it?
Okay, so she texted me Friday morning. I'm at work because it dropped Friday morning and she listened to it. And she's like, "I got to talk to you about something you said on the podcast." And my mind starts racing. I'm like, "Oh shit, dude! Like, what was, like I'm like, what did I say? So I was like, man, what did I say? So anyway, she finally gets in touch with me, and she's like, "That story you said about me pouring grease down the drain's bullshit." and you didn't tell Judson why you're not allowed to fart in the house and this and this. And I'm like, well, and she starts to go, I said, "Oh, stop! Either email the email address and complain about it,
that's what the email's
or
for.
message Judson yourself and tell him your side of the story. I said, then we'll address it. So later on, I didn't even think about it. She was, I said, oh, did Judson ever get with you? Oh, yeah, we've been talking about it. Yeah, you know, I'm like, oh, great. You know, so I was like, all right, well, go ahead. I got some stories about you anyway. So let them come to me with some stuff that you might have, you know. But she's got amnesia, man. Like she don't remember pouring the grease down, but she damn sure did pour that grease down the drain.
Well, I mean, the thing is, women never remember anything wrong they've ever done.
That's CRS, man's hell. You can't remember shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of being a lady. You're never wrong because you never remember any wrong that you've done. But yeah, she wanted to clear the air. She said that your farts are rancid.
I mean,
and I'm here to get down to the bottom, to the brass tacks. Kurt, do your farts stink?
they're pretty bad. I mean, okay, so my niece that sent you the Facebook message, the friend request.
Yeah.
I farted in her face one time.
Oh man.
And she puked all over the floor. And my mom made me clean it up, right? And you know,
that poor sweet girl.
I know, but I mean, hey, you know what? She's following me too close. And then our daughter now that's 13. When she was, I don't know, she might have been about 5 or 6. She was behind me, hitting me, playing around. Well, I farted.
It happens.
She might have thrown up, also. And I just remember her with, my wife just getting on my ass, and she's like looking at me like, "What? You made her throw up, And I look at her she's washing her hands and she's got little tears in her eyes.
Poor little thing.
Like looking at me like she just resented that shit out of me for farting in her face, But I mean, hey, she was behind me. She was too close.
Curtis, why are you abusing all these people with your butt trumpet?
Hey, you know what, man? Like, I look at it as a gift. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, I've got 1,000 stories, but one in particular was me. It was years and years ago. A bunch of couples went up to Carowinds, and we got a hotel. Well, when I get out of town sometimes, I don't know why my stomach gets upset.
Oh, dude, I think this is everybody.
So I shit that whole floor up. The females were across the room playing cards, and then me and a buddy and his son were watching Gamecocks game in our hotel room, which was right across from that one.
Yeah.
And I could hear a buddy of mine coming from way down the other end of the hallway saying, "The hell with that shit" or something.
Oh my
and he could smell it all the way down. And my ex-wife had bought Febreze, so I threw it out the window because I just felt like that was tainting what God made come out of me.
Oh my gosh.
So we went to Carowinds that night. It actually was Carowinds. They turned it into the Halloween thing. It's dark,
cool.
So we get a group of teenagers. There's like 20 of them. And everybody's like, and they're like bumping into us, being loud, being crazy. And everybody's like, "We give you permission." And I'm like, I said, "Don't loud me out. Don't loud me out." And they're like, "We won't." So I wait, I hold it. And it's like, I'm sweating. And I feel like I want to vomit. Like, I'm holding it, so long. Because I wanted to wait. Like when you go to one of those theme parks, it's like a maze.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll wait till we get dead center in the middle of this maze where no one can leave. Like, it's like you're trapped in this maze. And I bust ass, right? Well, it just like a nuclear bomb went off. And you could just see people fall back. And even my friends.
For the doo-doo.
Oh, my friend. So those kids start screaming. And like yell out, "The hell with this!" And they duck under and crawl. All 20 of them like crawled underneath to get out. Well, this one guy goes, "That was some messed up." This guy starts yelling, "That's some messed up shit." He's like 4 rows over. "Whoever I find out did that, I'm gonna beat their ass." And I go, I said, "You damn right, brother. Me too." I said, "If I find out who did that, they're getting ass kicked." He's like, "Hell yeah!" So
they're in trouble for sure.
Oh, dude, I blew it up, man. But I've got a million of those stories. But yeah, that one right there was one of my favorites because those little bastards were getting on my nerves, and I cleared them out fast.
Good. I mean, sometimes you just gotta lay down the law,
Hey, I crop dust, man.
Preston's favorite thing to do is to we'll be driving in the car, and he'll just look over at me, and then I'll be like, "Oh man."
He gives you that look.
Yeah, he's just waiting for me to notice.
Yeah. But my wife, man, she gets so sensitive about it. I mean, her mom was one of the main ones who started it, and like the assault on my farts in the house, and I'm like, "Hey, this is my house." I'm gonna bust ass in here if I want to, but then it just got to a point where it wasn't worth listening to my wife complain about it, so I just said to hell with it.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that. I mean, why would anybody want to live in a house that doesn't smell like ass?
Dude, that's the thing though. My teenage daughter, the older one, she's getting up there with me. I mean.
So you passed it on?
I mean, we all do, man. We all do it. Even I might have set the dog up a few times. But, he's been kicked out of more rooms than I can think of saying he farted. So, yeah.
Speaking of dog farts, this morning I woke up because I thought Judson was in my room farting on me. It was my dog.
Damn.
It was a full grown man fart.
Oof.
Yeah, Tux doesn't play around. Tux is he's a chunky dunk. He's a big old boy. And the other day when I took him out in the morning, he just sat down next to me. Like I just sat down on the chair that we have out in the back. And Tux sat down right next to me and just ripped
Nice.
the biggest ass. I'm talking about like a flapper. And then he just looks up at me with those big old eyes like, what? I didn't do anything.
Why would you do that to me?
Yeah.
Oh,
God, man, the dog farts are the worst.
Yeah, especially Tux's farts. He's a beast.
Mm.
That's how it goes, though. I mean, at least we know if anybody farts in the house, you can blame it on Tux, and nobody's gonna even
Question
think twice
on
about
that.
it. Yeah, because he'll. And it's crazy because he really does fart like a grown human.
Yeah, but that's what's funny about my 11-year-old Wyatt. You know, he'll fart, but he'll just stare at you with this big smile.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like wanting your reaction. Like
sounds
yeah, that was
familiar.
me, you know. And he has like a therapist that comes there, does like physical therapy, you know. And I was laughing because when I went outside, she gave me these bunch of instructions. And Wyatt, if he's in the mood for that shit, he's in the mood for it. But that day, he just wasn't feeling all these extracurricular activities.
Oh yeah, I'm
So I
sure.
went out in the garage, I'm laughing, you know, well, my wife's laughing, and I was like, what's wrong? She's like, well, Wyatt went to go do like a bunny hop thing that was part of their little thing,
Oh,
and he
no.
farted while he was
Oh, no.
doing it. So I was like, yeah, get it, Wyatt.
That's funny. That's I mean, you can't help that kind of stuff, you know, when
No.
you're doing physical exertion. When I took the police physical exam a couple years back, it sounded like people were popping off left and right in there. I mean, because we had probably 20 guys doing sit-ups at the same time, and it really reminded me of that scene from Blazing Saddles when they're sitting around eating beans.
Yeah,
Man, talk about a movie that would not be allowed in today's society.
no. I mean, there's so much that you look at when you were a kid, and now there's so like that you see so much that would be just criticized and taken down. I mean,
Gotta cancel it all.
yeah. I mean, look at all the shows that have been taken off now that from childhood.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss just got banned.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into that. I've tried to kind of steer away from it just because I just feel like it'll make me angry. But
Dr. Seuss sucked anyway, man. I hated it. I like that Dick and Jane stuff, you know, like Dick run up the hill and
oh,
Jane got the ball.
I feel like Dr. Seuss really tackled, you know, the whole race thing when he did the book about the people that had stars on their bellies and the ones that didn't.
Mhm.
And it kind of paralleled, you know, obviously you're slightly different.
Yeah,
You know, but you're still the same. I mean, they all looked identical except for some had stars, and so now suddenly Dr. Seuss is a bad thing.
uh,
I don't know, man. Maybe I should look into that a little bit more, and then take a little more hot shit take on it when we come back. We'll get into shit with Dr. Seuss.
hell yeah.
But for now, there's something else I'd like to talk about. So, you know, we had the segment that we called Good Shit a couple of episodes back. Well, I've got another one. My younger cousin, he is in flight school. I know I mentioned him before. Well, their school has been completely quarantined because of, you know, coronavirus and everything. Well, he's been kind of down about it. You know, he missed Thanksgiving. We talked about that. So Preston and I decided we were just going to pack up and go down there this past weekend. And so I contacted his girlfriend on Snapchat, which, by the way, if he messes this up, we're keeping her. We're dumping him. So she gets to stay with the family. Well, he'll have to find another one. But so we drove down there, and we were conniving with her the entire time. And so we pull up to the restaurant we're going to meet at, and Preston and I hop out. He's looking the other way, and we walk up and just grab him.
Mhm.
And so he turns around, and he's like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, you guys are here. But what was really cool is he just passed one of his biggest exams for the flight training.
Huh.
So that dude's down there rocking it. And I mean, that was a fun trip. You know, Preston and I have always been the kind of guys we'll just hop in and go. But he said something that got me thinking. He was talking about doing tricks and stuff, like while we were in there.
Like airplane tricks or turning tricks.
Well, you know, either way, school's not cheap.
Yeah, I know that's
So,
right.
But thankfully, he's smart enough. He got a full ride. Now, for me, different story if I went down there. But he said something that got me thinking. You know, we were talking about, you know, joking with him about getting aviators and a bomber jacket and everything. And, you know, there's a new Top Gun coming out.
Yeah, I seen that.
How you feel about it?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm old school, man. I like the old, take my breath away when we're riding on the little crotch rocket and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I know Tom Cruise probably ain't gonna be doing that in this one. I don't know. Who knows? He's still doing Mission Impossibles, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it might be pretty good. I'm gonna miss Goose, but
Yeah, well, here's what I think they should do. I think they should do a shot-for-shot remake of the original with the new with the people as they are now. So obviously, Tom Cruise looks younger now than he did when they shot it originally, but everybody else is going to have aged
oh yeah,
a lot. Val Kilmer, woof.
yeah. Val
So-
Kilmer, man, he's disappointing, dude. I mean, there's no other Doc Holliday to me than Val Kilmer.
Right.
You ever seen Tombstone? Doc
Oh, yeah.
Holliday. Randy, who is it? Dennis Quaid. Randy's a crazy one, right? Yeah, Dennis is the cool one, but they're both cool. But Dennis Quaid did a good Doc Holliday in the movie Wyatt Earp, but Val Kilmer, he's definitely not himself anymore.
Yeah, and that's what got me thinking. What would be funnier than like a fat Val Kilmer out there playing beach volleyball?
Iceman.
Right. And anybody that has passed away, they'll be played by Muppets.
Yeah.
So in this this terrible rendition of the original, the whole remake society kind of thing, like I feel like everything's getting remade, and which is a good thing for a lot of stuff. With all the comic book movies that are coming out, those are good. Like
I'm big into them.
I love all the comic book movies that are coming out. So yeah, it's like it's either going to be a comic book movie or a remake.
Yeah.
So Preston? What's a remake that you would like to see, and how would you like to see it done?
Well, to add on to the, everybody that's dead being Muppets, just like make a movie, any movie, where every single character is a Muppet except for like one main character
Right.
or one side character, since, like doing like Tom Cruise would be super expensive. Just do a Muppet of him and save the
That would
money.
be fun. Well, I'm sure his likeness is crazy expensive because of Scientology and everything. He wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah. He wouldn't. Yeah, he'd be suing the hell out of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I know you could make Jamie Foxx play Tom Cruise.
Oh man,
Since he took Tom Cruise's old lady.
that would be funny. That would be funny. I like Jamie Foxx. He's a good actor.
Yeah, man, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's got some good ones out.
Yeah, for sure. Preston, what's your favorite comic book movie out?
Ooh, Punisher.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one that came out in like 2007?
Travolta.
Travolta.
Yes, mine
Yeah.
too.
Thomas Jane. He's the man. Yeah, I don't like the Punisher series they recently came out with.
What?
I can't stand that dude, man.
Dude, I love that.
He is
That
the
like most
worst.
Awesome. No, man.
Oh my
That's
god, dude.
Shane from Walking Dead.
Oh,
man.
he was the worst in Walking Dead. So let's get into shit real quick. We're just gonna steer away from that. The Walking Dead is absolute garbage.
What?
Oh my
now,
god.
Now hold on. Now it's got okay. It does have its down points to it.
Yeah,
but
lots of them.
when they brought Negan in, see, I'm the type of guy. You watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ramsay is my favorite character ever. I mean, a guy who cuts another dude's schlong off and feeds it to him,
Yum.
and then asks him, "Do you love me?" After the end of it all. I mean, that's a guy that you look up to in a way.
I don't know about
know?
look up to.
And that takes balls. But then you got Negan who comes in, and he's like sitting there and he beats the hell out of two people, right in front of the group. And then he goes and he has an episode where he goes and walks around Rick and them's home, and he makes him hold the bat the whole time that beat his friends to death. And he's like, "Oh, give my bat back." And he's like, "How does that make you feel?" And he said something vulgar. I won't say it because Grandma might be listening, but
Right. Shout out to Grandma.
yes, I mean, but that Negan just was like, he's like my favoriteest character. Now I hate he's unturned soft, but you gotta love that in The Walking Dead. I mean, I'm a big zombie fan.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
zombie
zombies.
stuff.
I don't love them,
But
but
the spin-offs I'm not a fan of. Like the
yeah,
Fear of the Walking Dead and this new one, I forgot what it's called, but
cash grabs.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I originally loved The Walking Dead,
Mhm.
but the thing that just gave me a bad taste right in my mouth. So Rick is, I don't. Obviously, if you haven't seen this part, tough. You're getting spoiled. Rick is in the hospital because he's in a coma because he got shot. Right.
Yeah, it's like first episode.
So, and then his wife and Shane start hooking up almost instantly.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was lonely.
I mean, yeah, like,
It's
and
not
so, but this guy's like, "Oh, you're my best friend. We're loyal till the end." Blah blah blah, whatever. And then Rick is obviously still in pretty decent shape, so he hasn't been in that bed long. And then after all the medical stuff dies because I mean the hospital was dead when he woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the electricity and everything, so nothing's keeping him alive. He hasn't been in there long. I mean, he woke up. You know, by my estimates, which I have done, that's like a week
Yeah, probably
at the
a week.
most. So they were smooshing guts before that.
Well,
And-
it took them a minute to find them now. But yeah, they were. I mean, they didn't take them long because I mean, she probably figured, you know what, it's cold out here. You know, it's a hard world we're living in, and I gotta have somebody to pay the bills somehow.
Yeah.
Which pay the bills in those days are like, you know, keep me and my son alive.
Yep.
So, you
I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And you know, and then she starts acting all crazy. Like as soon as he gets back, and she's all upset about everything. Like, woman, you literally did not even let the sheets get cold, and like he wasn't even in the hospital good yet, and you're like, Shane, come over, take care of me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but I mean, hey, that's a story for another day. But I mean, I'm just gonna say it this way: that's survival mode of some women. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna go in survival mode, and that is, hey, you know what? Shane was the big swinging D at the time. It was either him or Merle.
Oh well, you know, I did. I enjoyed that show for the most part. I love zombie stuff. You know, it's cool to think about that kind of thing. You know, especially considering like if you study that kind of stuff in the wild, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
You know, funguses will take over ants and make them march around, and it's crazy. I really feel like that could happen. Of
Yep.
all the crazy stuff that's on TV, that one seems pretty legit. And you know, in Zombieland 2, is that which one it was, Preston? They talked about how there's still power because there's still hydroelectric dams running.
Yeah.
So that
That one girl was staying in the cooler because of the energy still being on.
yeah, that makes sense. So, well, guys, we're at 32 minutes now. Preston, thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. And
No doubt.
yeah,
Thanks for
Curtis and
having
I have been talking about how we're going to end our segments from here on out. So we got a little treat for you at the end here. But before we do that, don't forget, email us intheshit69@gmail.com. Again, that's SHIT Sierra Hotel India Tango. And if you're looking for us on YouTube, it is shit with an exclamation point. And so, all right, guys, we have thoroughly gotten into shit today. I'm Judson Miller.
Curtis Burbage.
Preston Miller.